When we talk about global justice and dignity, one organization stands out, and that is the United Nations. Since its creation in 1945, the UN had carried a clear mission to promote peace, protect human rights, ensure that every person, no matter their country, is treated with dignity. The UN also emphasizes that human rights cannot depend on politics. Whether a powerful nation or a small island state, every country must follow the same standards. And to understand this better, we will explore how the UN responds to human rights issues by looking at the examples from around the world, including situations related in countries like the Philippines.
The UN's first and strongest principle is universality. This means every person has the same basic rights: the right to life, freedom of speech, access to justice, and protection from abuse. No government can claim that human rights do not apply because of local customs or political priorities. Another principle is rule of law. The UN stresses that governments must follow legal processes in all actions, including policy, election, and national security operations. This is why when reports of extrajudicial killings surface in several countries, including those related to the Philippines drug campaign, the UN did not focus on politics but on its universal rule. The right to life and due process cannot be ignored, whether in Asia, Africa, and Middle East. For Latin Africa, the UN calls for independent investigations, accurate reportings, and justice for victims. These principles guide the UN in all cases, not just in one country.
The United Nations does more than raise concern. It also works to help countries improve their system. One of its key approaches is technical cooperation. Instead of shaming countries, the United Nations provide support, training, and capacity building to strengthen institutions like the police, the judiciary, and human rights agencies. For example, when the UN offered technical assistance to the Philippines through the UN Joint Program on Human Rights, it focused on improving data gathering, police protocols, community-based drug rehabilitation, and human rights training. The Human Rights Council regularly reviews the human rights record of every United Nations member state through the Universal Periodic Review, or UPR. This shows that human rights standards apply to all, not selectively.
From the UN's global work, we learn several important lessons. First, human rights problems are not unique to one country. Nations from Europe to Asia to the Americas face challenges. What matters is how the government respond with transparency, reforms, and accountability. The UN shows that human rights are the foundation of stable democracies. When citizens feel protected, societies become more peaceful and institutions are reliable.
The UN makes one message clear: human rights and democracy cannot be separated. A country cannot call itself democratic if its people cannot speak, participate, or criticize freely. This is why the UN strongly supports free and fair election, press freedom, safety of journalists, protection of activists and civic groups, transparency and accountability in public institutions. In many countries, including the Philippines, journalists have faced threats and harassment. The UN responds to these cases by reaffirming a global principles. Press freedom is essential to democracy.
Our first recommendation is to strengthen independent investigations. Allegation of abuse, whether by police or officials, must be examined impartially and transparently. For example, the UN urged countries like the Philippines to review drug-related killings and ensure accountability.
The second recommendation is to protect civic spaces and ensure the safety of journalists and activists. A democracy cannot strive if people are afraid to speak. Journalists and activists must free to report and advocate without threats.
The third recommendation is to improve human rights education. Citizens should learn about their rights of school, police training, and government programs. Education helps people recognize abuses, defend their justice, and participate in governance.
The fourth recommendation is to cooperate constructively with UN programs and reviews. Participation in UN initiatives like technical assistance or the Universal Periodic Review helps countries adopt best practices and improve accountability.
The fifth recommendation is to promote inclusive and participatory governance. Everyone, including women, youth, and marginalized groups, should have a voice in decisions. Inclusive governance ensures fairness, transparency, and strengthened democracy, showing that human rights are respected in practice, not just in law. Following this recommendation, help countries uphold human rights and build stronger, fairer democracies.
The UN reminds us respecting human rights is essential for dignity, justice, and peace worldwide.